welcome to the show. You know, many times with the Chris Howell Show, what we do is we aim to either inspire, impact, or inform you. If we do one of those things, we're generally pretty pleased with that. But today, I believe we're actually going to do all three. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We have the great privilege of having the one and only Pastor Fred Thomas with us today. Pastor Fred.
Hey, man,
welcome to the show, man.
Man, I'm glad to be here, brother.
Man, I am excited to have you here. And you know, I say that a lot because anytime we have a guest, it's guests that we have done some research on and we really appreciate what they have to offer to the audience. But I will tell you, it's especially true with you because you and I had the opportunity, several months ago to just sit down and just kind of talk. And we actually asked you to come to the office to do a promotion for us because you are just so funny and so great at what you do. And we were doing something with the Chris Howell Foundation and we asked you to come and do a promotion for us. Little did I know that on that day that you would come in to do the promotion and we would sit down and really just have a heart-to-heart discussion. And then hours later, your life would change. We're going to talk more about that in just a moment. But before we get into that, I want first, for folks who may not be aware, who is Pastor Fred Thomas?
Pastor Fred Thomas, man, is more than he can say. It's a lot that goes in to make who I am because of the assignment that's on my life. You know, too much is given, much is required. Yeah. I'm an encourager. I pastor whoever wants to be led. Yeah. You know, I'm a pastor to the people who want to laugh. Yeah. People want to know, about brick and mortar, but I'm more a pastor to the people. You know, I try to encourage people. People need to laugh. You know, it's a rough time we're in right now. So, so that's who I am. You know, I'm an encourager to the people. I'm a helper to people. That's who I want to be. That's who I strive to be. You know, I'm not trying to look for accolades. I just want to be a blessing to somebody. Yeah. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna give a little bit of background. You grew up in Greenville, Texas. So let's talk about what your upbringing was like. I mean, when you're a child, you don't see that living is rough. You know, I grew up in a house that leaned to the left. Yeah. A porch was falling in. You know, the house was raggedy, man. You know, so. But we had a lot of love there. You know, my mother was handicapped, and, my father, he did his best at taking care of us the best he could. Mm-hmm. You know, but I just grew up a certain kind of way. I was a mama's boy. Yeah. And, I was a church boy trying to be a little hood. Yeah. But all the way church just didn't fit in. It was just confusing my own self. Yeah. But it taught me a lot of great lessons, man. Yeah. Probably 90% of my comedy comes from just my upbringing. Yeah. You know, being around older people. My mom and dad's friends came to the house a lot because my mom couldn't go anywhere. Yeah. So we seen a lot of people came to that old house, man. I think about it now, man, a lot of people came in and out of that house. You know, it should have fell down a couple times, but people love to be there. They love to be in that place. And my mom, as sick as she was, she made it a place that was pleasurable for people to come. You know, people would come in there thinking they're going to lift her up, and they left lifted.
So it was the love that kept that house that was leaning standing, huh?
Oh yeah, the love and one or two good boards.
Yeah.
The rest of them, he was bad shape, brother.
Say, don't forget the boards. The boards were in there too.
One or two good boards kept it right on. You know, we only paid $30 a month for rent, so I can tell you about what the house looked like.
Yeah. This is down in Greenville, Texas.
Yeah, man, Greenville, Texas.
So do you have any brothers and sisters? I mean,
I have an older sister. If there's any other brothers and sisters, Dad didn't tell me about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can see one now. I mean, this is going to be a show that's going to be packed with information, and you're certainly going to be laughing throughout. And we've got more to share with Pastor Fred Thomas. You stay with us. We'll be right back.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Welcome back. Today we've got a great show. We're talking with the one and only Pastor Fred Thomas. And Pastor Fred, right before we went to break, we talked about the fact you grew up in Greenville, Texas, and we talked about your upbringing and what that was like for you and how a lot of this led to your comedy. Give us a little bit more background and talk about what has led to you being on hundreds of thousands of stages. And then we'll get into this video that you have out there that's got 7 million views on YouTube.
Man, I was selling cars for a friend of mine, doing some wholesale cars, and one guy had started putting videos on one of the social media sites about eating. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you know, I've ate a couple of meals in my life, mm-hmm. and I said, man, you know, eating in itself is fun, but being fat ain't fun. Mm-hmm. So I started making these videos about it, man, and getting 4,000 or 5,000 hits, and I'm like, you know, I've never in my life, I pastored 60 people, so to get 5,000 people that's talking to me, you know, was tripping me out. Yeah. You know, so, and then it went on and, man, started opening doors for stand-up. And being that I had been in evangelism and pastoring, so standing up before people wasn't a problem for me. Mm-hmm. But getting people to laugh, you know, kind of messed me up because I didn't know if that was going to. But man, it just really, it turned. Yeah. You know, it changed, and then God started speaking to me about it. Yeah. You know, I'm going to take you out of church work and put you into kingdom work. And I want you to go out and I want you to make people laugh. You know, I'm going to give you the tools to do it. And that's what's happened. You know, he's put me in places, you know, such as opening for Aretha Franklin and all these kind of situations, yeah. Man, that I could have never asked for. They just happened.
By just embracing that gift that God has given you.
Yeah, man, yeah. to take my life. I mean, when I'm on the comedy stage, 90% of what I give is me. You know, mm-hmm. I tell funny stories, and people enjoy hearing those stories. I mean, my audience is mostly 35 and up, because you have to, if you don't know about black skillets and fried bologna sandwiches and stuff like that, it's hard to get with.
Go right past you.
Yeah, you know, the millennials, I lose them.
Yeah.
But if you came up in a certain era, you know, you can understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to go past it, but I can't. You said something there a moment ago. You talked about getting out of church work and getting into kingdom work. Mm-hmm. Expound on that a little bit more.
Well, because I had plastered, you know, and pastored a few churches, messed them up pretty bad, and played for some churches because I played, you know, keyboard, organ, And that's all I've done is in the confines of those four walls. But then really getting to understand who Jesus was and his mission outside of the church. And there were so many people, and God said, listen, there are people that need to be touched that would never be touched by church people. Church people, even if they go to a comedy club, they're not going there as an evangelist or anything. They're going to just hear comedy. But I need you to stay in your anointing, and I need you to go places that are uncommon, and I'm going to use you to help change lives in those places. So that's it's a hard job sometimes because you get caught up in that industry thing, but you have to always remember it's all about ministry. So you're not trying to climb this success ladder. It's just fulfilling the will of God, and that's what I push to do.
Man, and you've done it quite well. And when you talk about coming out of the confines of the four walls of the church, I mean, you have done that in a great way. When you talk about the fact that you have, let's talk about it. It's the Whataburger Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. This thing has more than 7 million views on Facebook alone.
8. I just put that in.
Now you up to 8 million views. We got this.
Throw that in there.
I said more than 7 million.
Yeah.
But you want to be more specific.
7 and 8 million is two different numbers.
So let's talk about that. I mean, did you ever think that when you did this thing, and I think you're in your car.
Yeah.
You just got your biscuit.
Didn't even have enough money to get it. Had to scrounge up change in the car to get the biscuit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Talk about it. I mean,
never thought that. Well, one thing I learned about social media, you don't know what works. You put stuff out there, you make a video, you don't know what inspires people. Mm-hmm. Now, little did I know, making this song, which was already a Kurt Franklin song, mm-hmm. putting it together, with an instrumental, eating a biscuit, would take off like that. And I don't know if people got more inspired about the biscuit or the sound. Mm. Because a lot of interviews that I did once this was done, people wanted to hear, well, what is that sound you have?
Yeah.
They wanted, man, what is that? Man, that's me.
Yeah, hooping.
That's who I am, man. I don't know. And most of my comedy's like that. When I'm on stage, I'm like this all the time because it's natural to me, And, man, it just kind of... It just went on a plane ride, man, and still doing it today.
Yeah. But you have 8 million views. Have you really, and I guess you said you think it's really the sound that people are attracted to. So now, of course, you have to give us a little bit more of the sound because then that helps me to build off of it. Give me a little bit more of the sound.
Well, the sound, when you talk about the honey butter chicken biscuit and whether you're talking about a bologna sandwich or a hamburger or whatever, you can put anything with the sound and it makes it better. It makes you inspired. You leave here wanting a biscuit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that even with the songs, and I make up these funny songs on stage and people leave happy.
Yeah.
It's funny how something as funny as a biscuit, but these are people who 6 months ago they got word that they're in 4th stage cancer.
Yeah.
I said, well, and they were, baby, I came to your show, I feel so much better. Yeah. And so those are the kind of stories that'll trip you out.
Yeah.
People who are really going through some serious stuff, had an opportunity to laugh.
Yeah. And when you think about that many views, you have to know that certainly you introduce some folks who may not have been familiar with the style of preaching that you grew up with that has really just been embedded in you. And you never know how many people that actually led to going to a church to where if they were inspired and felt good by that and that level of communication, if you will, they went to look for that in a church somewhere.
Well, especially if you came up, you're in the South, and because I say everybody in Mississippi sounds like Martin Luther King. You talk to some people. I have friends in Mississippi. You talk to them today, they're all on the phone like this. I say everybody sounds like that. But I think it brings people back to, because we're in a day now, I think people want to come back to something that's natural to them, really organic. So that's who I am. I'm an old traditional guy, and I can't shake it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not caught up in the politic part of it, but that old traditional church, man, I love it. Man. I love it.
And people are loving you for it.
I hope so, man. If I could get all 8 million of them to send me $1 a piece, well, we'd be all right. This would change up real good.
Be a lot more honey butter biscuits.
Oh yeah, brother. That would make that would turn this way around.
Well, you know what? We've laughed. We've had a great time, but you've had a very serious experience just a few months ago, and I want to talk more about that when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of Pastor Fred Thomas.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Welcome back to the show. If you are just tuning in, we are talking today with the one and only Pastor Fred Thomas, and we're having a great show. Pastor Fred, right before we went to break, we talked about the fact that, we understood where your comedies come from, but you had a pretty serious experience just a few months ago where you've got millions of views on Facebook, and you had hundreds and thousands of people praying for you because of a hospital visit that you had. Let's talk about what that day was like for you.
Oh man, it was, it's so funny because I had an opportunity to meet with you that day, and later that evening had an incident, man, where I had a blood vessel had busted in my leg because of a wound that I had, and could not stop it, and lost a lot of blood that day, and my blood pressure had gotten down to like 65, and really could have lost me that day. We were blessed that my wife came home and she had some nursing skills and to help me out till I got to the hospital. We only stayed like 5 minutes away, but did not know that getting to that hospital I would have to end up staying over 2 months. Yeah. With an infection and other illnesses that going on. So it just really tripped me out because I just did not understand how, comedy's picking up. I got a whole full weekend to go, and right at that one moment, like my world stops. Yeah. So it was real tragic for me.
Yeah,
It was.
Well, you talked about the fact that it's also been a great learning experience for you. And you talked, when you and I talked several weeks ago, you talked about the fact that you really wanted to use this as an opportunity to help educate other folks on how to take better care of themselves, on
Well,
how
it
you
was
had just been
necessary.
ignoring the wound on your leg to a degree.
It was necessary for me.
Yeah.
You know, I think about it. I was getting ready to go to Cleveland, Ohio that Friday night. I had a show. And what if that vessel would have busted on the plane? You know, we could have been having my funeral. So, and then I wasn't taking care of myself. You know, you tell your man, well, I'm gonna get it together next week. You know, I'm gonna start Monday, and Monday never came. You know, so I mean, my blood sugar was 500 on top of what I was already in there for, and you know, kidneys having issues, and just ignoring all these things. So even though God allowed that to happen to me, in order for me to go to the next level, I had to go through that.
Yeah.
You know, so it was necessary for me. So I encourage people, especially those of you that, you know, we talk about, you know, it's 2018 and people talk about dreams, and you're not going to be here to fulfill your dream if you don't take care of yourself.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, what I admire and respect about you is you're always looking for an opportunity to help educate people. You know, even in your comedy, you're being funny with it, but you're educating us and you're helping us to understand that life is real and we have to deal with it in a real way. And now, even after going through this health challenge, you're now using your platform to say, you know what, I'm going to help inspire other people to take better care of themselves.
Well, I grew up around, like I said, older people, and they had their way of talking to you and saying things to you. But those older people, back when I came up, they had the mindset that I need you to be better than me. You know, even when we had little juke joints, and they knew I was a church boy. You don't belong down here, and because they wanted you. So I'm always looking at other people, thinking, man, you can be better.
Yeah.
You can, you know, I may not even be doing the best, but you can be better.
Yeah.
So, and that's always been my thing. You know, sometimes that's the low road. You know, you don't always get all the accolades for that, but I see the potential in people, and I want them to be better, man. And you can be.
Yeah, yeah. And as you talked about earlier, that's just that you being an encourager, that's just in you.
Yeah.
I want to talk more. I knew that I wanted to talk to you about the health challenge and what you had went through at the hospital visit. So I had already had you on the radar to call to do the show.
Yeah.
You called me before I called you to say that you wanted to come on the show, but you wanted to do something different. You wanted to talk more about some abuse that you suffered as a child.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
That was a time, and I guess the illness kind of played into it because my mother was handicapped, and I stayed with her all the time. And I think, you know, of course, just a little backdrop to the story. I was molested by 3 men before I was 9 years old, and these men were close, even some family members. And I think because of me hanging around mom and being a mama's boy and not really knowing a lot, they took advantage of that situation, you know, because 2 of the times that I got molested was in my house. And my mother wasn't able to get up and see what was going on in the room or get up, you know. So, and I get older, man, and I think about a lot of times that, you know, had she known or had my father known, you know, it would have been a whole different situation.
Yeah.
You know, but I encourage people to have conversations with your kids. I didn't know anything about sex as a child. We didn't have, you know, those were just conversations we didn't have.
Right.
So I based what I knew on what the people who are bringing me harm are telling me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know whether this is right or not. You know, and I heard Todd Bridges on Oprah talking about his situation, and it was so similar to mine. So I reached out on Facebook, man, just told people, this is my story.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the inboxes from preachers and other people, grown men who had gone through this kind of thing. So, and I wondered, Lord, why would you allow me to go through this? And the Lord let me know to help somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do. I want to help some brother, some sister who's going through this right now, and to know that you can make it.
Yeah.
You can make it.
So do you see all of this working together? God's giving you the platform with the comedy, and even what most recently happened with your health. All of this is coming together to enlarge your platform to further help people come through situations of molestation.
Well, I used to hear those old mothers say, "Take me through, dear Lord, take me," but you don't know what all that entails.
Yeah.
Man, when God really starts taking you through some stuff, because I went through a serious depression while I was in the hospital, and struggle, man, and even with the molestation, man, while I had the car lot, one of the men who molested me came in to buy a car. And I think he had been on so many drugs over the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. I don't even think he remembers it. It's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But and I never, I told my sister, but she was, why do you? I said, well, it ain't about telling people who did it and why.
Right.
It's I'm healed.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's about using my story to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Now if along in that one of these people wants to, because really, as far as I know, so these people haven't had the best of lives.
Yeah.
And I don't wish bad on nobody, man. I hate that they've had to go down that road, but I thank God that He's allowed me to persevere, because I'm not a victim, I'm a victor.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. I think you said something, though, the fact that it occurred in your house. And I think, I can't recall exactly who it was, but there was a warning that had been put out that many times when families come together during family gatherings is when most molestations take place. Because, people just assume that family members are not going to harm their children.
Right.
And really, that's when you need to be on alert most.
And my mother, because she's one of 13 kids, and she has a slew of nephews and nieces and loves them all. And when I look back as an adult, she would have been torn to believe that her nephews or her cousins or somebody could have touched her son. Yeah. And my dad, man, I'd have been visiting him in the pen, because I was daddy's man, know. But there's some conversations that need to happen. And I know sometimes in our culture we don't like to talk about certain things, and I have friends where their stepfathers have molested them and the mother doesn't believe it. When those kids tell you something, listen to them.
Yeah.
Listen to them. It's not always them trying to be mean or what. You don't know what's going on. You gotta believe it. And if a man paying bills is more important than your child, and that's a problem. So I just want people to understand that there's a lot of stuff going on in this world, and more going on now than ever before. Yeah. And so we need to listen. Man. We need to listen. But I want people to know you can be strong and come out of it. That's really the message. Sometimes you can't deny it happening, but you can make it. Yeah.
So your message really is to those who may have suffered at the hands of abuse,
or maybe suffering.
Yeah,
maybe going through it right now.
Yeah, that there is a way out.
There's a way out. You can make you will come out on the other side.
Man. Well, I just want to again commend you for being so brave and so bold to share your story. So again, it's just another way of where you're really trying to help us to get to a better place. Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying this conversation with Pastor Fred. I hope you are as well. I want you to stay with us because we got more coming up in just a moment.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Welcome back. We've had a great show with the one and only Pastor Fred Thomas. So if you didn't catch the entire show, be sure to go back on our website, chrishowellonline.com, and check it out. We've got a great show lined up for you. Pastor Thomas, we've been all over the place. We've talked about some of everything. We went from Greenville to 8 million views on Facebook.
To Japan, a whole lot of places.
But you know what? You just have so much to tell, and you're really doing a lot of great work in so many different areas. And like I said, I just wanted the opportunity just to bring you on, man, and just talk about you and all that you're doing, and really to give folks an update on where you are in your health. So let's talk about what folks should expect next from Pastor Fred Thomas.
Well, we're going to take this thing to the next level. I don't really know what the plan is. I know that I know the things that I want to do. To get my, I want to make sure that I'm together, get myself healthy and well. I had stayed in that bed so long in the hospital, I got immobile. So, but my body's getting back together. I'm getting myself. I'm ready to get back on stage. That's what I'm ready to do, man.
You used to owe Cleveland a trip because you were scared to go to Cleveland.
I didn't send the deposit back, so they still looking for me.
Yes, so you will be going out there at some point.
I've seen them some point this year. Yeah, we, even though we got sick, there's the clause in the contract.
Yes. So Cleveland, Chicago, whoever's next.
Yeah,
you're ready for it when time permits.
The Lord's opening up the doors, man. We just ready to fall on in. So we're gonna get back to work.
Meanwhile, folks can still check you out online. I mean, you're still doing a lot of stuff on social media. I saw some stuff you posted the other day.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do a YouTube channel. Hopefully we can get that going up in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Figure out what kind of content we want to use with that. Just do some 3-4 minute segments on, about whatever hot topics I want to talk about my little way.
Yeah.
So we'll see what has some fat facts.
Wait a minute. Talking about hot topics, you did something with the Dove thing when Dove went through that little situation. You took that thing and I think just everybody just looked at it totally different if they saw your video.
Well, I think, you got to look at things a little differently. Sometimes I think we jump on bandwagons and we don't really understand. Everybody wasn't going to stop using Dove. Some people's skin is designed for Dove. So you get mad at them all you want to. So I just wanted to put it out there. Don't get too fast. Because I still use it. So, we want to make sure, don't want you ashy. walking around. So just keep using Dove. Keep doing you.
So we can expect, I mean, if there's some hot topics, something going on, we can expect to jump on your YouTube channel and check out what your perspective
we
is
try
on
to
it.
jump on everything. I try to stay away from politics.
Yeah.
I let everybody else have that one, but there's enough going on in the world to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to talk about it, and hopefully it'll help some people. You know, along the way, man. That's what we want to do: make some people laugh and make them feel good about being alive.
Yeah, that's the key. You know what, and I'll ask you this, and in closing, I'll ask you, you know, there's a lot to be said about a guy like you who does so many things and who impacts people's lives in so many ways. What is it you say about yourself and you hope others would say?
Well, as for me, man, you know, God has blessed me to see a lot of things, a lot that I'd like to do, but really, my ambition, man, is to help make some people happy. You know, I want to build a company. When I talk to my friends about building a company right now, you know, I have dreams of having Christmas parties for my employees because I just want to. And I know sometimes my dreams aren't realistic in people's eyes, but I just want to see some people happy, man. I see murders and all this stuff on TV every day. I just want them. So whatever that means, you know, let's do it, man. You know, whether it be a comedy show, whether it be me coming, hey, doing whatever we got to do, coming to your house. I can't eat no banana pudding. Diabetes is kicked in, but I can come and sample.
Yeah.
You know. So whatever that means to help make the world smile, man, that's what I want to do.
Man, you know, I really appreciate that because, I mean, that's exactly what we do. It's all about really trying to bring back hope and restore hope and inspiration and joy into people's lives that they can move beyond where they are.
Yes, sir.
Because, we see so many other negatives. We got to try and do as best we can to bring some positive.
Yeah, we got enough of that. Yeah. So we got to do it right.
Well, as we close,
it
would be remiss of me if I didn't ask you to close us out with some type of song and in whatever way you can do it, because I know you got it in you. Last time I was playing drumsticks and everything. I have my drumsticks with me today.
Man, I tell you, because of what I've gone through, and I talk about it all the time, so glad I'm here. So glad I'm here. So glad I'm here. I'm here in Jesus' name. I'm so glad to be here. I don't know what to do, man. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm not in no hospital bed. Nobody waking me up at 4:30 in the morning talking about they need some blood. I'm happy to be here and happy to be alive with Chris Howell.
Glad to have you here, man.
Love you.
Did it the only way you can. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I have certainly enjoyed it. And again, if you caught us in the middle, you need to go back and catch us at the beginning. It's all at chrishowellonline.com. Have a great week.